we will discuss the basic concepts of microprocessor and microcontrollers. In simple words, the microprocessor can be defined as a programmable device that takes in numbers, performs on them arithmetic or logical operations according to the program stored in memory, and then produces other numbers as a result. What is programmable device? The microprocessor can perform different sets of operation on the data it receives depending upon the sequences of instructions supplied in the given program. By changing the program, the microprocessor manipulates the data in different ways. And what do you mean by instructions? Each microprocessor is designed to execute a specific group of operations. This group of operation is called an instruction set. This instruction set defines what the microprocessor can and cannot do. The general internal architecture of a microprocessor is as shown in this figure. We will now discuss the functions of various parts of microprocessor. The first one is bus. The path along which the digital signal moves from one section to other section is called as bus. The bus can be shared by all chips in the system. Instead of using bus, if separate connections were used between the chips, there would be large number of connecting conductors required. This is an advantage of bus. There are basically three types of buses in a microprocessor system. The first one is a data bus. Data bus is used to transfer the data to or from the CPU and the memory or input-output devices. Thus, for an 8-bit microprocessor, 2 raised to 8, that is 256 values of data are possible. It is a bidirectional bus with width equal to the word length of microprocessor. Thus, if a microprocessor is of 16-bit, then width of data bus is also of 16 bits. Next type of bus is address bus. Address bus is a unidirectional bus responsible for carrying address of a memory location or input-output port from CPU to memory or input-output port. Since the memory locations are addressed by this bus, larger the size of address bus, greater the volume of data that can be stored and more sophisticated programs can be used. However, 8-bit microprocessor can have only 2 raised to 8, that is 256 locations. So, the size of address bus is increased by address latch enable as shown in this particular figure. In case of 8085 microprocessor, which has 16 address lines for 16-bit address of a memory location, there are 8 address lines A8 to A50 solely dedicated to transfer 8 bits of address, while the remaining lower 8 bit of address are sent through the multiplex AD0 to 87 8 lines. Thus, while making ALE control high, the AD0 to 87 lines will carry the address along with A8 to A50. Thus, a 16-bit address will be carried. When ALE is set low, then AD0 to 87 will carry only the 8-bit data. The next bus is control bus. The lines that carries control signal like clock signal, interrupt signal or ready signal are called control bus. They are bidirectional, and signal that denotes that the device is ready for processing is called ready signal, and signal that indicates to a device to interrupt its process is called an interrupt signal. The next part of microprocessor is arithmetic and logic unit, abbreviated as ALU. It is responsible for performing arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, etc., and also logical operations such as AND, OR, exclusive OR, etc. The next part is registers. The registers are used to store the internal data of CPU temporarily while the instructions being executed. There are different groups of registers used in microprocessor. The first one is accumulator. An accumulator is a register for short-term intermediate storage of arithmetic and logic data in a computer CPU. In an arithmetic operations involving two numbers, one number has to be there in this register. Thus, if we want to add two hexadecimal numbers, say 37H and C5H, then either 37 or C5 must be transferred to accumulator before the operation. The result of arithmetic operation will also be stored in accumulator. Similarly, in a logical operation involving two operands, one operand has to be there in the accumulator. Also, some other operations like complementing and decimal adjustment can be performed only on the accumulator. The next register is a status register or flag register. The flag register stores the information related to the result of latest process carried out by ALU. In case of 8085 microprocessors, there are 5 status flags. That is carry, parity, auxiliary carry, 0 and sign. 3 bits, that is bit 1, 3 and 5 are left vacant. Let us now discuss the function of each flag. The first one is carry. After performing the operation, if carry is generated, then Cy is set to 1, else is set to 0. The next flag is parity. Parity flag is set to 1 if the result operation has even number of ones, otherwise is set to 0. Parity is a very simple error detection scheme originally employed by telegraphs and other serial communication protocols to check consistency of a data by counting the number set bit even or odd. It means if there are 6 bits set to 1 and parity is also set to 1, that is even number of ones, indicates that data is consistent. But if there are 6 bits set to 1 and parity is set to 0, it means the data is inconsistent. This logic is executed by 7 exclusive NOR gate as shown in this particular figure. In XNOR gate, the output is on if both input signals are either on or off. So thus we can see here, so this is a resultant bit 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 0, and these are 7 exclusive NOR gates. So here, since both these inputs 1 1, the output will also be 1. Similarly here, if both the inputs are off, the output will be 1. So here the output is 1 at the first stage. Here output is 0, output is 1 and output is 0. At second stage, since this is input is 1 and 0, so output will be 0, and here also output will be 0. And at the third stage, since the output at these two gates is 0, that is both are off, output will be 1. And thus you can see here the number of ones are even, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and therefore parity is set to 1. So however, if we consider the odd number of ones, for example here, if I set this 0 to 1, then we can see the parity will be set to 0. So thus if I consider even number of ones, then parity will be 1. If I consider odd number of ones, then parity will be 0. The next flag is auxiliary carry. After performing the operation, if carry is generated from third bit to fourth bit, then auxiliary carry is set to 1, else is set to 0. Next flag is 0. The 0 flag is set to 1 if the result of operation is 0, else it is set to 0. The 0 flag is typically used along with jump instruction to check whether the counter elapses so as to allow looping in the assembly code. For example, if the operation is to be executed 10 times, then we put the code in loop. the counter is decremented and the conditional jump is placed to check whether the counter is reached to 0 or not. 0 flag will be used to check this. The next flag is a sign flag. If we subtract the large number from the smaller number, then the result is negative. But how your microprocessor will recognize it? For this reason, sign flag is used. The sign flag is set to 1 when the result of operation is negative. It may be indicated by the most significant bit of 8-bit result being 0. It is reset to 0 otherwise if the result is positive, which is indicated by the most significant bit of 8-bit result being 1. In case of 16-bit microprocessor like 8086, there are total 6 status flags, of which 5 flags are same as discussed above, and the 6th flag is overflow. It will be set if the result of signed operation is too large to fit in the number of bits available to represent it. Now let us consider a simple example. Subtract DA from 3C to demonstrate the status flags. In hexadecimal number systems, the 16 numbers include 0 to 9 and A to F. A will represent 10, B will represent 11, and so on. The decimal equivalent of hexadecimal DA is thus 13 into 16 plus 10, which is equal to 280. Similarly, the decimal equivalent of 3C is 16 into 3, that is 48, plus C, which is 12. So 48 plus 12, that is 60. So thus the decimal equivalent of 3C is 60. So thus basically here in decimal form we are subtracting 218 from 60 and the result is minus 158. Now since the microprocessor can understand only 0 and 1, the hexadecimal numbers are to be converted into equivalent 8-bit binary form. So thus 3C will be converted as 00111100. So thus here this represent 1 plus this represent 2. So 2 plus 1, that is 3. Similarly here this is 8 plus 4, that is 12, which is nothing but in hexadecimal it is C. Similarly DA can be represented as 1101, that is 8 plus 4 12 plus 1 13. So which is representing D, and 1010, that is 8 plus 2, which is equal to 10, that is representing A. So DA can be represented as 1101 1010. Now to subtract DA from 3C is basically 3-step process. The first step is to obtain 1's complement of DA. 1's complement of DA is obtained by inverting the bits of DA. That is, 1 becomes 0 and 0 becomes 1. So thus we can observe here this 1 is 0, this 1 is 0, this 0 becomes 1. So 1's complement of DA is 0010 0101. The second step is to obtain 2's complement of DA. This is obtained by adding 1 to the 1's complement of DA. So this is 1's complement of DA. Now we will add 1 to this 1's complement of DA to get 2's complement of DA. So thus here 1 plus 1 is basically 2, that is 10 in binary. So the result here is 0 and 1 will be carried. So here 1 plus 0 is 1. Here also 1, and this is how basically we get 2's complement of DA. Then the next step is we have to add the 2's complement of DA to 3C. So thus here 3C will be added to 2's complement of DA and the result is 0110 0010, that is 4 plus 2, that is 6, and here it is 2. So 62H is the result. But the decimal equivalent of 62H is basically 16 into 6 plus 2, that is 98. However, the result in decimal should be minus 158. Then how it is? Actually, since the result is negative, binary equivalent of 62H is obtained as 98 minus 256. So that is equal to minus 158, where 98 is the result of this operation and 256 is a constant value which is to be subtracted from this result. Now let us update the flag register for this last operation. The first status flag is carry. In this case, the result of operation do not generate carry, hence C is set to 0. Second flag is parity. Here the number of ones are 3, that is odd, hence parity flag is also set to 0. The next flag is basically auxiliary carry. Now since there is carry from third bit to fourth bit, if you observe here that the sum here will be 1 1, that is actually 2, which is 1 0 in binary. So we result here is 0 and 1 will be carry. Then again 1 1, 1 plus 1, that is again 10. So here result is 0 and 1 will be carry. Now thus there is a carry from third bit to fourth bit and therefore auxiliary carry is set to 1. The next flag is 0 flag. In this case, as the result of the operation is not 0, therefore 0 flag is set to 0. Finally, the sign flag. The sign flag is set to 1 as the result of operation is negative. Here it should be noted that if we have subtracted 60 from 218, then we get positive results, and in that particular case positive result, that is 158, and in that particular case which is equivalent to this 9e, and therefore the most significant bit here is 9, because 9 can be expressed in a binary form as 1001. Thus if a positive result has most significant bit 1, then the corresponding negative value must have most significant bit 0 and vice versa. Thus the content of flag registers for this particular operation is as shown over here. The next one is a general purpose register. Now this may serve as a temporary storage for data and address and be used in operations involving transfer between the registers. For example, in 8085 microprocessor, there are 6 general purpose registers to store the data. Each register will store 8-bit data, and these registers are identified as B, C, D, E, H and L. As shown in this figure, these can be combined as a register pairs, that is BC, DE and HL. This is used to perform 16-bit operation. Next one is a stack pointer. Stack pointer is used as a memory pointer. It points to the memory location in read-write memory and called as stack. It is always incremented or decremented by 2 during push and pop operations. The next one is a program counter. The program counter register is used to sequence the execution of instructions. The function of program counter is to point to the memory address from which the next byte is to be fetched. When a byte is being fetched, the program counter is incremented by 1 to point the next memory location. Stack pointer and the program counter registers are also known as memory registers since they use to hold the memory addresses. The next one is a instruction register. After fetching the instructions from memory via data bus, the CPU stores it in an instruction register. The program is incremented to point next instructions waiting to be fetched, and the instruction is then decoded and used to execute operation. This sequence is also known as fetch execute cycle. Now we will briefly discuss about microcontroller. While the microprocessor is just a CPU or a processor for processing the data, the microcontroller has more peripherals to communicate with the outer world. They have the general purpose input output ports for controlling the switches and devices. They have dedicated ADC to convert real world analog signals into machine understandable digital signals, DAC to convert digital data to analog signals, communication protocols to connect to the outer world. They have on-chip timers and counters. Thus, as shown in this particular figure, microprocessor is a CPU and microcontroller is a CPU plus peripherals and memory. The peripheral includes input-output ports, serial ports, then clocks, then timers, then DC converter, etc. And the memory includes the RAM and ROM. Besides that, we have registers and interrupt and bus control. The microprocessor are thus used for general purpose like our PC. On the other hand, the microcontrollers are used for special purpose like an embedded system. However, nowadays special purpose does not mean only a single task. Controllers are also there for performing so many tasks at once using threading and multiprocessing. They are not much powerful as processors in processing, but they have great level of communication with outer world. 8051 is most basic microcontroller here that can be programmed in C as well as in assembly language. The microcontrollers are used in small scale to large scale embedded applications like microwave oven, AC, home automation, lifts, and the list is very long. Now we will learn about the assembly language to write programs involving data transfer, arithmetic operations, logic operation, jumps, branches, subroutines, delays, and lookup tables. Microprocessor works in a binary code. So writing programs with instructions written in binary code is a very tedious process. Hence, we use shorthand code referred as a mnemonic code. The program using these mnemonics is called as assembly language. The commonly used instructions used to the microprocessor are grouped as data transfer instructions, then arithmetic instructions, then logical instructions, program control instructions, and we will now discuss this particular type of instructions in detail. The first one is a data transfer instruction. The different instructions in this particular data transfer group are move, load, store, and clear. First one is move. This instruction is used to move the data into register or copy data from one register to the another register. For example, when we say move AC, it means the data is to be transferred from register C to an accumulator. The next instruction is load. This instruction reads the content of a specified memory location and copies it to the specified register. For example, LDA 4050H means load the contents of memory address 4050H to an accumulator. Suppose the content of memory address 4050H is AB and before instruction the content of accumulator is BD. Then the status of memory address and accumulator after executing this load instruction is as shown in this particular table. So for 4050 memory address, the content was AB. So after instruction, the executing the instruction, the content is also AB. But for accumulator, the content before execution of the instruction was BD. Now the content is AB. Next one is a store. Store instruction copies the content of specified register into specified memory location. Example STA2400H. It stores the content of accumulator to the memory location 2400H. And finally the clear. This instruction resets all bits to 0. To summarize, we can say the move instruction is used to transfer the data or copy the data from register to register. The load instruction is used to copy the data from memory location to register, and the store instruction is used to copy the data from register to memory location. So this is what the difference between these three particular instructions: move, load, and store. Next group of instruction is arithmetic group. Various instructions that comes under this category are add, subtract, increment, decrement, and compare. Add instruction is used to add a data in some register or memory location to the contents of accumulator. For example, ADD-C will add the content of this register C to the content of accumulator. Of course, here there is no need to explicitly write ADD-AC, since For addition, one of the data should be there in accumulator, and therefore A here is implicit. The next operation is subtract. This instruction basically subtract the data in some register or memory location from the content of accumulator. For example, SUBC represent the data of the register C will be subtracted from the content of accumulator. The next instruction is increment. This instruction adds 1 to the content of specified location. For example, if I write INR C, it means the increment of content of register C is by 1. The next one is decrement. This instruction basically subtract 1 from the content of specified location. So if I write DCRC, that will decrement the content of register C by 1. And finally, the instruction is compare. This instruction indicates whether the content of specified register are greater than, less than, or equal to the content of specified memory location. The result appear in the status register as a flag. The next instruction group is a logical group, and the instruction comes under this particular group are AND, OR, exclusive OR, and rotate. The AND instruction carries out logical AND operation. Thus the output will be there if all input conditions are on. Suppose first instruction is 43H and second input is B6. Then the result of ANDing operation are as shown over here. We can observe here that only in case of this first bit data, so bit at first position, we can observe since both the input values are 1, the output is also 1. For all other bits, since both inputs are not 1, the output is 0, and therefore the result of ANDing operation is 0 to H. Next one is a OR. OR operation carries out logical OR operation. That is, in case of OR logic, output will be 0 only if both input bits are 0. Otherwise, output is 1. Thus, if I consider same previous example, that is 43H or B6, then the result of ORing operation is as shown over here. So here you can observe here only for this particular bit, since both inputs are 0, output is 0, whereas for all other particular, for the remaining bits, one of the input or both inputs were on, so the result is also 1, and therefore the result of ORing operation is F7. This is F and this is 7. Next instruction is exclusive OR. This instruction carries out the logical exclusive OR operation with contents of specified memory location and data in some register. And the next one is rotate. Rotate instruction basically involves moving a pattern of bit in a register one place to left or right, and the bit that spills out is written back into the other end. For example, RLC is rotate accumulator left, in which each bit is shifted to its adjacent left position, and bit B3 shifts to bit D3 shifts to D0. So thus if you observe here, if suppose we have data 0011, then the bits will be shifted to adjacent left position, and this particular the bit at position D3, that will be actually shifted to D0. So thus the result will be, so the result will be here, so this will be shifted over here, so the result will be 0110. Similarly, if we use RRC, that is rotate accumulator right, then the result will be 1001, because here the bit will shift to right, and we can observe over here the bit at position D0 will be shifted to position D3, and therefore this one will be shifted over here, and thus we get the result as 1001. The next group is program control instructions. Basically here we considered two different type of instruction, jump or branch and halt. Jump or branch instruction changes the sequence in which the program steps are carried out. The jump instruction causes the program jump to other specified location in program if certain condition occurs. For example, instruction JC, that will cause the program to jump to specified address if carry flag is 1. Similarly, JPE, that means jump if even parity, and so on. Next instruction is halt. This instruction basically stops all further microprocessor activities. Then we will discuss the different addressing modes of microprocessor or microcontroller. The first one is a direct addressing. In direct addressing, the address of operand given directly in the instruction. For example, STA2400H represent that we have to store the contents of accumulator to memory location 2400. Next one is a register addressing. In register addressing, operand, that is the data, are in general purpose register. For example, move AB. It means that we have to move the content of register B to accumulator. Similarly, add B. Here, add the content of registers B to the content of accumulator. Now here accumulator is implicit. Next one, register indirect addressing. Here the data is to be found in the memory location whose address is given by the memory instruction. For example, LXI H2500H. It means load HL pair with the data in 2500H. Similarly, move AM. Here we have to move the contents of memory location to accumulator. Next one is the immediate addressing. The operand are specified within the instruction itself. For example, MVI A05. It means move immediate 05 to the accumulator. Here 05 is the data and that is specified in the instruction itself. Similarly, EDI 08 means add immediate 08 to the content of accumulator. The next mode of addressing is implicit mode of addressing. Here the address is implied in the instruction. For example, RAL or CLR. It is clear. So this is what about some basic concepts of the microprocessors and microcontrollers. You can refer these books for further reading, and thank you.